We have calculated the probability that at least two persons from a group of 6 persons are having same birth month, and that we had seen as somewhere around 0.77. For calculating that, we had found out the number of ways in which all the 6 persons can have different birth months, and that we had divided by the number of ways in which they can have birth months. And since this gives the probability that all are having different birth months, when we subtract this probability from 1, then we get the probability that at least two persons are having same birth month. Because if you are subtracting from 1, then you are getting the probability that all are not having different birth months. So it definitely means that at least two are having same birth month. Now in this video, we are changing the value of number of persons. That is, suppose we have just 2 persons or 3 persons or 4 persons, and that way up to 13 we are going, and then we have found the probability using the same method that at least 2 persons are having the same birth month. It means if you apply this logic for the bet which we had taken in one of the lecture, then this is giving the probability of your winning the bet. Now we see here that when there are 2 persons only, then probability that both of them are having same birth month, that is 0.083. Now normally we think that if only 2 persons are there, then the probability of winning the bet, that is both are having same birth month, that will be very low. It's true, it is low, but it is still 0.083. So if we talk in terms of percentage, you have about 8.3% chance to win the bet. Now if the number of persons in the group is 3, then the probability of your winning the bet is 0.236, which is quite good. It is about 1/4. Now since there are 12 months and 3 persons are there, and when we calculated the probability by finding out the number of ways in which all are having different birth months and number of ways in which they can have birth months, and then subtracting that ratio from 1, then for 3 we got the probability as 0.236. You can see here that when 6 persons are there, the probability is 0.777. The change in probability, that talks about the sensitivity. So if we have 2 and it increases to 3, the probability is changing by this small value, and from 3 to 4 it is changing like this, and you can very well see that when there are 13 persons, the probability that at least 2 are having same birth month, that is 1. Now if 12 persons are there, we generally get a feeling that there is a possibility that all those 12 persons are having 12 different birth months. So that is fine, that probability is there. But again, the probability that you win the bet, that is at least 2 persons are having same birth month, that is coming as 0.99995. So if we are working in such situation where the probability of our decision becoming right is something like 0.99995, we should go ahead very confidently. If the number of persons is reduced to 11, the probability is changing very little. It is coming down to 0.999 only. This also is a very good probability. It means that even when there are 11 persons, the probability of winning the bet is very high, and we can go ahead with the bet. When there are only 10 persons, the probability is getting reduced to 0.996. This too is quite good, and so this risk is not that great. When 9 persons are there, the probability is 0.985, small reduction again, obviously more reduction than what it was when number of persons changed from 12 to 11 or 11 to 10, but still 0.985 is a very decent probability of winning. It means that if 9 persons are there, probability that at least 2 persons are having same birth month is 0.985. So think about that fear of risk that all 9 may have different birth months, because there are 12 months actually. So all 9 may have different birth months, and so it is a risky situation. We may lose the bet and all, but the probability, if you see, it is 0.985. Even with 8, the probability is quite high, 0.954. So understanding this sensitivity, that how the probability is changing when the number of persons are changing, and then understanding risk based on that probability and sensitivity of probability with respect to changes in the system variable, that is going to help us in managing the risk much better. Even when there are 5 persons, the probability of our winning the bet is 0.618. Normally, we will not visualize that the probability will be so high. 0.618 is again quite a decent probability. And now considering the amount, that the amount which we are likely to win and the amount which we will have to spend for taking part in the bet, those we will be considering based on this probability. 0.618 is still quite a decent probability, and when we do the computation and get these kind of understanding related to risk, then we are in a better position to manage that risk.